You tell everyone everything: your plans, your goals, your ideas, the thing you're working on, the change you're making, the risk you're considering. You announce it before it's real. You share it when it's still fragile. And then something strange happens. The energy drains. The excitement fades. The thing you were so fired up about suddenly feels harder to do. You wonder why. Maybe you lost motivation. Maybe the idea wasn't good enough. But the truth is simpler and more ancient than you think. You spoke too soon. You gave away something that needed to stay inside a little longer. In today's video, we will talk about the power of keeping secrets to yourself. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so and give us a thumbs up if you like this video. The Stoics understood something deeply. They weren't obsessed with secrecy for drama. They knew that words have weight. Every time you speak about something you haven't done yet, you release a little bit of the pressure that would have pushed you to actually do it. It's like opening a soda bottle before you're ready to drink. The fizz escapes. What's left is flat. Think about the last time you decided to change something significant. Maybe you wanted to start a business, get in shape, learn a new skill, write something meaningful. What did you do first? If you're like most people, you told someone. Maybe you posted about it. Maybe you had a long conversation explaining your vision. And it felt good. People were interested. They encouraged you. Some doubted you, which made you defend the idea even more passionately. For a moment, you felt like you'd already achieved something, but you hadn't. You'd only talked. Here's what happens in your brain when you announce a goal before taking action. Your mind experiences a small reward. Talking about the goal gives you a taste of the satisfaction you'd get from actually completing it. Your brain registers that hit of validation and thinks, okay, we did something. Except you didn't. You just spoke. But now the emotional urgency to act has decreased. The need to prove something has been partially satisfied through words instead of work. This isn't a character flaw. It's how humans are wired. We're social creatures. We crave acknowledgement. Sharing our intentions feels like progress. But in reality, it often replaces progress. Marcus Aurelius wrote constantly in his private journals, but he never published them. He never announced what he was working on internally. Those writings were for him. They were the place where he wrestled with his own mind, clarified his principles, and held himself accountable. No audience, no applause, just him and the work. That's a very different energy than broadcasting every thought to the world hoping for feedback. The problem isn't sharing after you've done something. That's fine. That can even be generous. The problem is sharing before you've done anything, when the idea is still just potential. At that stage, it's vulnerable. It needs protection, not exposure. Imagine you're growing a plant from a seed. In the early days, it's underground, fragile. If you keep digging it up to show people, look, it's growing, you damage the roots. You interrupt the process. The plant needs time in the dark, undisturbed, to develop the strength to break through the soil. Your goals work the same way. So why do we feel this compulsion to announce everything? Partly, it's modern culture. Social media has trained us to document every moment, every thought, every intention. We've been conditioned to believe that if we don't share it, it didn't happen. We confuse visibility with validity. If nobody knows about our goal, does it even matter? The Stoics would say yes. In fact, it matters more. Because when you work in silence, you're working for the right reasons. You're not performing. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're simply doing what needs to be done because you decided it was worth doing. There's another layer to this. When you keep your plans quiet, you also protect them from interference. Not everyone wants to see you succeed. Some people will discourage you out of their own fear. Others will offer opinions that confuse you. Some will subtly plant doubt. And even well-meaning people can accidentally derail you by asking questions you're not ready to answer yet. Every conversation about your goal becomes a test you didn't sign up for. You end up defending your idea instead of building it. Silence creates space. Space to think clearly. Space to make mistakes privately. Space to change direction without explaining yourself. Space to build something real before you invite judgment. That space is sacred. Most people never give themselves that gift. They rush to speak, they rush to be seen, and then they wonder why everything feels so hard. The Stoics practiced something they called voluntary discomfort. They'd sleep on hard floors sometimes, skip meals, walk in the cold without extra layers. Not because they were miserable people, but because they understood something crucial. Comfort makes you fragile. When you only know ease, the smallest hardship feels like a crisis. But when you've trained yourself to handle discomfort, life's inevitable difficulties don't break you. Your silence about your goals is a form of voluntary discomfort. It's uncomfortable to work without external validation. It's hard to keep going when nobody's cheering. It's difficult to stay motivated when there's no audience watching your progress. But that discomfort is exactly what makes you stronger. Think of it like learning to ride a bike. At first, you need training wheels and someone holding the seat. That external support feels necessary. But eventually, those supports have to come off. You have to learn to balance on your own. The wobbling is scary. The silence from the person who's no longer holding you feels terrifying. But that's precisely when you actually learn to ride. Working in silence is learning to ride without someone holding the seat. You're developing internal balance, self-generated momentum, the ability to keep going based on your own commitment, not external encouragement. Here's what changes when you stop announcing your plans. First, you discover who you really are. When nobody's watching, when there's no performance aspect, you see your true level of commitment. Are you doing this because you genuinely want to, or because you wanted the identity associated with it? The silence reveals the answer. Second, you build genuine confidence. Every time you keep a promise to yourself that nobody else knows about, you're depositing proof into your self-trust account. You're creating evidence that you're reliable, even when no one's checking. That's real confidence. Not the borrowed confidence you get from likes and comments, but the deep-rooted kind that comes from actually doing difficult things. Third, you eliminate the gap between talking and doing. Most people have a massive canyon between what they say and what they accomplish. They've trained themselves to be excellent speakers and poor executors. When you stop speaking prematurely, you force yourself to become an executor. The only way to get satisfaction is to actually do the work. Epictetus taught his students a simple principle. Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. Don't tell people you're becoming disciplined. Just become disciplined and let them notice the change in how you move through the world. Don't announce you're working on yourself. Work on yourself and let your actions speak. This doesn't mean you become secretive or weird about everything. If someone directly asks what you're working on, you can answer. The point isn't to lie or hide. The point is to stop volunteering information prematurely. Stop seeking validation before you've earned it through action. So here's the practice. Pick one goal you've been talking about, something you've mentioned to friends, posted about, or explained to people. Now stop talking about it completely. Not forever, just until you've made substantial progress. Until the thing is actually real, not just potential. Work on it in private. Show up for it when nobody knows whether you did or didn't. Let weeks pass where people have no idea you're building something. Resist every urge to update everyone on your progress. Feel the discomfort of working without an audience. Notice how different it feels. Notice whether your motivation holds or collapses without external reinforcement. If your commitment survives the silence, you've found something real. If it doesn't, you've learned something valuable. You were more attached to the idea of doing it than actually doing it. Better to learn that early than after more wasted announcements. The Stoics believed your character is built in private and revealed in public. Not the other way around. You don't build character by announcing intentions. You build it through quiet, repeated action when nobody's keeping score. Your next move isn't to tell everyone what you're about to do. Your next move is to close this video, pick one thing, and start doing it without saying a word. Let the work be the announcement. Let your results be the speech. Everything else is just noise distracting you from the only thing that actually matters. Whether you're willing to show up for yourself when nobody else is watching. Picture this like planting a secret garden behind a tall fence. Nobody knows it's there. No neighbors peeking over asking why you chose tomatoes instead of roses. No relatives suggesting you should have planted everything differently. Just you, the soil, and the seeds. Every day you water it, pull the weeds, check the progress. Some days nothing seems to happen. Other days, you spot tiny green shoots pushing through. And here's the magic part. Because nobody's watching, you're not performing. You're just gardening. No pressure to make it Instagram-worthy. No need to justify why some plants died. You're learning what works through actual experience, not through defending your choices in conversations. Then one day, months later, someone visits. They walk into your backyard and stop. Their eyes go wide. "When did you do all this?" they ask, staring at the vegetables, the flowers, the whole ecosystem you built. You just smile. "I've been working on it," you say simply. That moment right there, that's worth more than 100 announcements ever could be. Because you didn't just talk about having a garden someday. You actually grew one while everyone else was busy talking about their own someday gardens. Your goals are seeds. They need darkness and quiet to develop roots strong enough to break through into the light. Stop digging them up to show people. Stop asking for opinions when they're still too fragile. Let them grow in silence. Let your actions become so loud that your words become unnecessary. That's not secrecy. That's wisdom. That's how you stop being someone who talks about changing their life and become someone who actually does it. The choice is yours. Keep announcing everything and wondering why nothing sticks, or go silent and discover what you're truly capable of when nobody's watching. One path is comfortable and leads nowhere. The other is uncomfortable and leads everywhere. Now you know which one the Stoics would choose. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up. And if you want more videos about growing stronger, smarter, and staying focused on your goals, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.